For the first time in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, the best deck now wants to go second, and we also have the brand new Fiendsmith cards, which are essentially the new Diabellstar. So many different decks want to be using them. This is the 1 week metagame report after Infinite Forbidden release in the OCG. Let's begin. Now, for Master Duel Meta, you can go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta from up here, or you can click on the button there. Beta.yugiOhmeta.com, available to everyone. We're going to go on over to the OCG post info, which is the Infinite Forbidden Pack metagame report number 1, tech/side deck analysis and deck lists. Let's begin. So welcome to week 1. This is analytics from 86 deck lists with a combined 9,129 players. This is the graph we're using right now. We'll probably go back to a circular graph. I just want to try this out. We have Tenpai Dragon as the number 1 deck, followed by Snake Eye Fire King. And we also have Yubel. All 3 of these decks, the top 3, have cards that the TCG do not have access to. We also have Snake Eye Fiendsmith, and that's right. Fiendsmith Snake Eye is above regular Snake Eye. That is crazy. And we have Voiceless Voice. Memento is no longer a meme. This is about to be coming out in Master Duel. And Unchained, what the heck? Historically, Unchained did not do well in the OCG, but it is now doing well, and you're going to see why in a bit. You also have Salad Mangrape, Melodious, and some new decks like Gimmick Puppet, First Turn Kill. You could check out the TCG metagame report over here on the website, and I could maybe even make a video about it if you'd be interested. Now, starting off with the top main deck text by usage rate. We all know it that Master Duel and OCG compared to the TCG, the biggest difference is the Maxi, 97% usage. And right next to it is Ash Blossom, which is supposed to be keeping Maxi in check, which Maxi is supposed to be keeping combo decks in check, but we're not getting into that big argument here. Of course, these 2 top cards are right next to each other, but now a card that definitely deserves its spot and not based off of Maxi is Infinite Impermanence. Being able to not get fingered also does not allow the opponent to use triple tactics talent. Also usable on your own turn. This card is incredible. Of course, you all know that at 90%, but then we drop down to Called by the Grave. It is in the OCG semi-limited, where in the TCG it is limited to 1. So right now we're looking through the lens of the TCG ban list, so that may be a little bit confusing to you. I do want Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta to primarily be for TCG players seeing how the TCG is played, and also the OCG infos to supplement the TCG knowledge. But we could still have these articles showcase the proper ban list limits on the OCG. So let me know and we'll work with the developer to do that. We then have Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler, really good against Snake Eye Ash. We all know that. And then followed up by that Crossout Designator, a card that is at 3 in the TCG, which is mind-boggling to me. Followed by the Triple Tactics Talent, Drone Lockbird, which the TCG uses as their own Maxi. Because what's Maxi supposed to do? It's supposed to end the turn. And that's what Drone Lockbird does versus many decks, but not all of them. Because some effects, Konami's getting smart. Instead of searching cards, they're having them set the card onto the field instead of going to the hand. So that's quite interesting. We then have Forbidden Droplet, then followed up with Ghost, Ogre, Snow, Rabbit. Now, this card, while this is not a TCG meta review, Ghost Ogre has a pretty cool interaction against the more popularly used Omega since the Borreload has been banned, because this card has to successfully banish itself in order to banish a card from the opponent's hand on resolution. If you use Ghost Ogre against it, it stops the effect. So that's something you definitely want to consider if your hand is getting banished. Now, top side deck cards by usage rate. We have Harpy Feather Duster, which decks like Tenpai are main decking. Nibiru, not in the top tech usage, which it is for TCG. We have it in the side deck instead. Because again, you know, I guess Nibiru and Drone Lockbird are in the same category of trying to accomplish what Maxi does. We then have Heavy Storm, banned everywhere except the OCG. Destroy all back row. You know, you could mostly just consider this to be a second Harpy Feather Duster. And then Ghost Ogre in the side. We got Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone is the number 1 most used card in the side deck for the TCG. So if you wanted to, you know, check these things out on the tier list here, you go to the tech tier list. We have Infinite Impermanence, the number 1 card of the TCG. Side deck, Cosmic Cyclone and its usage rate. So there you go. Now, what else do we have here? We are now Drone Lockbird, also the main tech. This is only the main deck, and this is the side deck only. We then have Evenly Matched, a really good card for going second. And then Anti-Spell Fragrance, fully unlimited in the OCG. That is wild. It's super anti-pendulum. They can't set their pendulum scales when it's supposed to just be anti-spell. then Ghost Spell, and then Triple Tactics talent, seeing use on both the tech and side deck. Now, between the different weeks of the metagame report, I do want to show the cards going up, down, or being new to the top 10 list. So do look out for that. Now, let's start off with the top deck list. We also have some videos for some and some explanations on what's going on. Tenpai Dragon being the #1 deck of the OCG at the moment, and the TCG does not have this new card. This card serves as extra consistency to the deck, as it could special summon a Tenpai monster from your deck, and it could also serve as a level 4 tuner. So it's a level 3 non-tuner, it's a level 4 tuner when you want it to be. It also summons any Tenpai from the deck, just adds more consistency. So there you go, newly released. Every single deck is using it at 1 to 3 in the new Tenpai Dragon deck. So looking like this, here's a version using 2. And if I were to open up this card here, we go to the OCG analytics, we could see where it got second place of the 7,443 player tournament. Very nice, did very well. A bunch of these decks are using it, so good stuff there. Now let's hop on back over here. Main decking Heavy Storm, main decking Harpy Feather Duster, main decking a Mulchummy. So that's another card we're going to be talking about later. A lot of people are saying that this is the card that will save us from Max C. But, you know, seeing it alongside being used with Max C, maybe that means that Max C might get banned in the OCG or even in Master Duel. But we're going to look at the analytics on Mulchummy. But I think we're going to have to wait for when it actually comes out in the TCG to see how good it really is. But my current consensus on this card is it's only good if you're going second. So that means side deck or go second. So Tenpai Dragon. If you're not Tenpai Dragon, you're pretty much not using this card. But we'll see. Now, very good. Looking at the extra deck here, nothing too crazy. Let's move on to the next top deck. We have Snake Eye Fire King. Now, the TCG does not have Fire King Consort. When this card is summoned, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up. If you do add a Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, so this adds more consistency to the deck. It also has an effect when destroyed. It could special summon a Fire King High Avatar Garunix. That's right, Duel Links card is here. So maybe this will be coming out in the TCG soon. And then, because if we look on over to the TCG, the top deck right now is pure Snake Eye, followed by Snake Eye Fire King. And it probably will switch positions once they finally get the brand new consort. And, you know, maybe I'll tell you this, when Master Duel gets Fire King, you could expect this to be with it. Okay, so I guess we added a little exclusive leak here. So expect this with Fire King. And in the OCG, they have Snake Eye Ash to 2, where the TCG chose to instead hit Borreload, Baron to Floor, and Link Karibo, which is not even, you know, in this Fire King version of the deck. That's okay, though. So doing very well in the tournament. Let's keep on going. Up next, we have Yubel. Yubel is now using Fiendsmith, and comparatively to the TCG, they have Phantom of Yubel. Now, I was talking about this on stream that Konami is giving almost every deck a self-summoning fusion. First, we had branded fusion. Well, not first. We had like Lunalight Fusion and the Shadow Fusion fusing with cards from your deck. So to make fusion summoning even easier, we have Phantom of Yubel, which could use your hand, your field, and or graveyard to return the fusion materials back in the deck. Just one Yubel monster, plus a 0-attack Fiend monster, and also 0-attack, 0 defense, that is, back in the deck. You now have this card that essentially is a monster negate. So this could be really good against something like Nibiru. It's also a body on the field to make plays with. But what's interesting is 66% of the Yubel players are also playing the Fiendsmith. What is the Fiendsmith package? It is 3 Fiendsmith, 1 Tractus, 1 of the Lacrimosa, 1 Daizerai, which is a pretty cool card, 1 Requiem, we have 1 Sequentia, and 1 Fabled Lurie. And only 1 player among the ones playing the Fiendsmith package were playing the Fiendsmith Sanctus that summons a token. Sorry, oh, no editing this video. Now, let's check out a quick 1-card combo with this. We're going to speed on through this. You know, we're not here to teach combos. We're just kind of show them, yeah? So this is with just the field spell. We're going to speed this up. 1 field spell, Lotus, summon a Yubel from the deck here, and then we're going to grab the Nightmare Pain, pop our Yubel, trigger to summon a Yubel from the deck. Then we're going to summon the Squirmer. Squirmer's going to pop the Yubel, summoning a Terra Incarnate. We're going to make the Unchained to then search for a Shavara. And then we're going to be self-summoning our fusion, Phantom of Yubel. So we're going to get to the Fiendsmith, and this is how you do it. So 2 effect monsters will make this new Link 2. And now that you have 2 effect monsters to make this new Link 2, it's a Light Fiend. And by it being a Light Fiend, you could link it off into the Link 1 Fiendsmith Requiem, which requires 1 Light Fiend. So just understand, if you get 2 effect monsters on the field, you are able to make this play. And then this card is going to be summoning the Fiendsmith from the deck. So very nice. And then we're going to make plays the Fiendsmith. So we're going to trigger the field spell, trigger the Yubels. They're going to summon a bunch of Yubels in the field, Terra Incarnate. We're now going to be making the Fiendsmith Sequentia. And that's going to be activating the fusion summon into the Lacrimosa, which will add a card in the graveyard back to the hand, a Fiendsmith card. Come back. Then we're going to make the Soul of Rage. We're going to discard the Fiendsmith, search our deck for the Tractus. Now we're going to be searching for the Fabled card, which will then discard to trigger its effect to summon itself onto the field. Then we're going to overlay into the brand new Rank 10 Xyz, brand new for the TCG. This negates anything. Absolutely nuts. And then it pops a card in the field. And then we're going to be reborning our Fiendsmith. We're going to fusion summon. So let's talk about the disruptions here with the Fiendsmith engine. Holy moly. We have the ability to negate anything. We have the ability to negate a monster effect, essentially. We then have the ability to negate up to 2 cards in the field, and the Fiendsmith fusion is untargetable. We have an Unchained card in the backer, which could pop a card in the field. We have the Soul of Rage, which could link off with a special summon monster to go into an SP Little Knight and then banish another card in the field. A ton of disruption, and it was just with 1 field spell. And then similarly, we're not going to be going into it, but you could do a great plays with the 1-card Samsara D Lotus. So you got a little preview of what's good with the Phantom of Yubel and the Fiendsmith package, and why Yubel is now a top 3 deck. I do think I should actually be numbering the decks, so that's better clarity that this is a top 3. Now, keep on going. Here's a deck list using those cards. They're not using the Unchained pop card. We have the Reborn instead. It's a very nice 130-player tournament, top 4. Very good. 41 cards. There's the extra deck. 2 of the Phantom of Yubel. And what's really weird about this card is, where are the restrictions? You could summon it more than once per turn. You would think that this could only summon once per turn. No, you could just keep on summoning it if you have the materials in the graveyard or, field or hand. So very nice. And as we said, to get to the Fiendsmith engine, you just need the Moon of the Closed Sky. Now, is that all that Fiendsmith is doing? No, I'm going to show you more of what Fiendsmith is doing for a deck like Snake Eye, which I think is the next deck. Yes, Snake Eye Fiendsmith. Now, they're not playing the big fusion that negates. So we'll just go on over to the deck list real quick. As you can see, they just are playing only the Lacrimosa. The Lacrimosa being a level 6, which means we could go into the Beatrice. So as I have outlined here, this got top 32 in the 7,000-player tournament. With 1 Fiendsmith and nothing else, without normal summoning, you don't need another card in the hand to discard. It's not like a 1.5 card combo, just 1 Fiendsmith. You could send a Snake Eye Ash from your deck to the graveyard, and then reborn it with Promethean Princess, all off of the 1 Fiendsmith. So let's see that real quick. Thank you to Rogue to Competitive. Let's see that, and we'll speed that up. So let's speed this up, and let's go. So 1 Fiendsmith, discard, grab the spell, which will then grab the Fabled Lurie, discard, reborn itself onto the field. Very quick combo, as you can see here. That's going to be the Light Fiend to then summon a Fiendsmith from the deck. We're going to be reborning. We're going to be come forth, make the new fusion monster, level 6. And then we're going to make the Beatrice. Beatrice will send from the deck to the grave a Snake Eye Ash. Link 2 plus the fusion is going to be make the Promethean Princess. Reborn the Snake Eye Ash. And then now you pop off, without even normal summoning, your full Snake Eye combo. So this is essentially Diabellstar. Diabellstar gets you to the original Sinful to summon a Snake Eye Ash from the deck. So despite the Snake Eye Ash being semi-limited, we now have in addition to Diabellstar, we now have Fiendsmith being another way to get into another 1-card combo starter. I don't know what to say. We got Bonfire 1-card starter, Diabellstar 1.5, Ash, and then now Fiendsmith. Oh my Jesus, that is wild. So very cool how versatile the Fiendsmith engine is, where it's not just summoning the big fusion, it's actually, using and abusing Beatrice. So is this a card, the problem card for Fiendsmith? Is it too early to say that, where maybe this will be on the chopping block for potentially getting banned in the future? It's already limited to 1 in TCG, so maybe, we'll see. So there you go, new way to play Snake Eye. Let's keep on going. Then we have Voiceless Voice. There's not much to say here besides TCG has received the new blessing of the Voiceless Voice, which pretty much every Voiceless Voice deck is playing. This got first place in YCS Japan Tokyo, the largest tournament, not in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, but in card game history, the largest tournament ever. They went out of their way to make that happen. So very nice, good job. And there is the deck, first place. Excited for this to be coming out in Master Duel. That's going to be a good thing to look forward to, maybe sooner than you think. Then we have Memento. Unfortunately for Master Duel players, Memento is coming without these new support cards, which are needed to no longer make the deck a meme. That's right, Meme-ento. We have the brand new Combined Conqueror, the brand new Mystical Sheep. I'm not going to pretend like I know how this deck works. I will just read this card, though, for the first time with you. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one meme card from your deck to your hand. You know, it's just better. Just say meme. You cannot activate the following effects of the Meme Conqueror in the same chain. This card is fusion summon. You could send 3 memes from your deck and or action next to the graveyard. Quick effect. You can target an equal number of mementos you control and cards your opponent controls, destroy them. So all I'm thinking is quick effect, destroy your opponent's cards. Okay, interesting. And this combo is, it's a 2 minutes on a 1-card combo is quite insane. So we're just gonna be speeding through this. I'm not here to show you how to do the play. Go onto the website, check it out yourself, or go to Road to Competitive and up. Oh, this is all one card. We have like a full field, a card in the hand, making plays on their turn. You know, this is a complicated deck. So it's something I may be learning in the future, especially because it's coming out to Master Duel, but unfortunately the new cards are not coming with it. So there you go. So make sure you check that out. All right, here is a top deck list of the 7,000 player tournament using the brand new Mystical Sheep. So anything that's only in the OCG and not in the TCG will be labeled in the bottom left of the OCG tag. So that's a good way to quickly see what do you have if you are a TCG player. Then looking at the extra deck, we're able to see right there the OCG tag there. Very nice. Combined Conqueror, a 2 of. So there you go. Memento, a top deck in the OCG now. And then we have Unchained. 100% are playing the Fiendsmith package. 2 to 3 Fiendsmith, 1 Tractus, 1 Lacrimosa, 1 Dyer's Array, the Fiendsmith Requiem, the Sequentia, and the Lurie. So very nice. So I think there was some confusion about this card being potentially a Garnet. It is not a Garnet as long as you have a Fiendsmith to search with the spell. Because what happens is you activate the Tractus to add a Light Fiend from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. So if this is already in the hand and you still have a Light Fiend in your deck to search, then that's fine. You search the other Light Fiend, then discard the Lurie, and you make the same play. So it is a very consistent package to be putting in your deck. Here is an example deck list with the new way. 100% of Unchained are playing the Fiendsmith within tournament topping decks after this new pack's release. So do look out for that if you are an Unchained, enthusiast. This deck didn't really do well in the OCG because of Max C. So what's going on? This combo's now good around Max C. As far as I know, it's a bunch of special summoning. I guess if you give a deck enough brute force, even against Max C, it's still really, really good. So let's take a quick little check on what that combo looks like here. So thank you to this channel. Appreciate you. Let's speed this up. What does one tour guide look like now in the brand new Unchained? Got the Yama. We got the Shabara setting up the trap. Aruha, pop the trap, some for the deck. We got Sarama set from the graveyard, then pop a card. We're now, so when do we go into the Fiendsmith stuff? By simply going into the 2 effect monster Moon of the Closed Sky. It being a Light Fiend, that's it. This is how any deck could now go into the Fiendsmith engine. This is all you have to do. 2 effect monsters. Send to the grave for the link 1, and now you have access to the Fiendsmith. So we're going to be wanting to get that into the graveyard soon. There we go, it's now in the graveyard. We are going to be triggering the Yama, Reborn, the Soul of Rage, and then the Fiendsmith's going to add to the hand. We're going to then discard, search your deck for the spell, grab the Lurie. If you already have the Lurie, it's fine. You then search another card, discard the Lurie, Lurie Reborn. We're going to be returning the Moonsky back to Reborn the Fiendsmith. Then we're going to make the Sequentia, which will fuse with the graveyard, fusing into the big one, Array. And then we put Array back into the graveyard to make the Lacrimosa. Lacrimosa is going to reborn the Array. And now the Array is untargetable and can negate 2 cards in the field. The Soul of Rage is going to be able to link off an opponent's monster. And then, oh, damn, with the new Fiendsmith fusion, you could go right into the Caesar for the double special summon negate. And there you go. Quite a bit disruption there. And let me see the array real quick. The array, is it targeting? It states that you can negate you negate the effects of a number of face-up cards in the field until the end of this turn up to the total link rating of link monsters equipped to this card. So what's going to happen, it's non-targeting. It negate up to 2 cards, non-targeting negate, and it's untargetable itself. That is pretty damn cool. And there you go. So this is why Unchained is now actually finally doing well in the OCG. Now, we all know that Unchained already did really well in the TCG. That's why the Unchained Soul of Savara has been limited to 1. So maybe for, I'm not sure, is this still going to be good in the TCG with only 1 Shavara? What do you think? Fiendsmith, Unchained, and TCG, let me know what you think about that still being a deck. Now, let's keep on going. Now, beyond the top deck list, we now have new deck / support. So one of the big ones is the Mulchummy, which created a lot of discussion on the internet on this being the sign from the stars that Maxi will finally get banned. What's interesting about Mulchummy is it's worded where you can activate 2 of them in the same turn, but not 3. My opinion is in a regular deck, it's only good if you have 2 in your hand to activate both of them. So what's going to happen is you're going to draw per normal summon from your opponent. So, for example, let's say you're playing against a deck with 5 cards in their opening hand, as every normal deck would have. They normal summon every card from their hand, then they end their turn, which is not going to be a normal play where they're going to still have 5 cards in the field after summoning their whole hand. That means you drew 5, and they have 5 cards in the field. The effect still wouldn't trigger because you don't have +6 cards more in your hand than what they have in the field, so you still would not return the cards from your hand back in the deck. So I don't know if that got confusing there. So it's really weird that it has that restriction of your opponent, you having +6 more than your opponent. So I think that really kicks in if your opponent just ends the turn with 1 body on the field, and then you happen to have 7 cards in your hand, and then I guess that would be the +6 shuffle. You have to have more. So you have to have 8 cards in your hand with them having 1 body on the field, then you would just shuffle 1 card back in the deck. Anyway, we're not going to keep going off of that, but it's worth noting, and obviously you know this if you've been paying attention, this could do nothing against a lot of decks. Against a branded deck, they don't have to normal from the hand. They could just, or summon anything from the hand. They could just do everything from the deck and extra deck, and they're good. Even the Aluberg, they could summon with the branded opening. More so in the TCG as the card is unlimited. So, you know, the verdict on this card at the moment within the OCG where Maxi exists is 50% of Tenpai Dragon use Mulchummy. And Mulchummy was only used in Tenpai Dragon. Plus, there was a random deck. 1 random Snake Eye Fire King player played 1 copy. So this is an outlier. It is, I would say, correct to say that it's only being used in Tenpai. And even in the side deck, I wasn't even seeing it being used as much. So let's see that real quick. Let's click on the Mulchummy. Here's the usage stats. We'll click on OCG because it's not on the TCG. And if we want to include the side deck for the search, because right now this is just main deck. There you go. That is the Snake Eye Fire King deck right there. Let's click side deck. And okay, some more decks pop up where it is now being used in the side deck. We have 1 Mulchummy there. We have 3 Mulchummy in the side deck there. So this is what I've been thinking, that the card is mostly a side deck card. And will it be the same thing for TCG? And what that means for Master Duel is that this card won't see much use outside of Go Second decks like Makonko and Tenpai. That's what I'm thinking. So for TCG, though, we'll see. Now, let's hop on over back to this. And then we have Gimmick Puppet, brand new deck. As you can see, the OCG tag on the bottom left of the brand new cards using Horus, which I did leak to be coming out in Master Duel. Now, a lot of people are super hyped about this deck, saying, DK, read the field spell, read the field spell. Okay, I'm going to read the field spell. I did read this after you all told me to. I didn't know it would be this crazy. The crazy thing about this field spell is your cards are unaffected from activated non-Xyz monster effects. Like, what? Is it within the main phase? It's just forever? Gimmick Puppet monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle and are unaffected completely, forever, every phase, every turn, by your opponent's activated non-Xyz monster effects. Let me take a drink real quick. Hold up. Okay. Now, I'm not going to pretend to understand the other effects, but from what I understand is that this one field spell is a first turn kill, and it's actually viable. A viable first turn kill, and that's why the deck did quite well. It got top 8 of a 7,000 player tournament. So we could skip on through the first turn kill real quick. We're not going to be watching the full thing. We'll just watch the first play. I mean, this should be a first turn kill, right? Hopefully. Let's speed this up. All right, so this was one field spell to be sure. So we'll jump up ahead. All right, go into that, and then we're going to play that over that. I have no idea what I'm seeing or what I'm witnessing here. Is this first turn killing? Okay, we summon a body onto their field. Sure. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! One-card combos. Oh my gosh, we're burning. They're now at 4,900 life points, 2,900 life points. We're going to be dropping them down even more soon, I'm assuming. Yep, full actual first turn. Not end your turn, then burn them in the draw phase. Actual first turn kill off of just Mansion. One field spell, and you got it. And I guess they have more ways to do it also. Is this a first turn kill also? Yeah. So the Mansion or these two cards, what about this? Combo 3. These two cards, is that also a first turn kill? Yes, looks like it. Yep, another first turn kill. And then the deck list they used, and then you can compare it to what actually did well in a tournament. So thank you for that showcase, Super Nix. So looking good. What do y'all think about a viable first turn kill deck? It doesn't have to be the best deck, but the fact that you now have to worry about something like this going into a tournament, like what nonsense is this? This is ridiculous. Now, we then have we have Centurion, or is it Centurion? It's actually Whitewoods. So Whitewoods is a new deck that debuted. Little girls, I don't know if this is Little Diabellstar. I think that's what people are saying. I have no idea. 7,000 player tournament. I do not know what this deck does. So, just look at the deck list and look at the art. So I guess this is kind of cool. All right, that's pretty nice. Wicked of the Whitewoods. So the main deck is Little Girls, and the extra deck is Big Girls. Okay, so you'll only focus on the extra deck. Very nice. Wait, what are these? These are medium girls? No, still little girls, I think. Okay, cool. And let's keep on going. We then have a nice little showcase of Volcanic. Top 64. I want to showcase this because I saw some Fiendsmith. So Fiendsmith is everywhere, even with Diabellstar also. 60 card deck. Very good. Good job to top 64, largest tournament ever. There is the main deck. That is the extra deck there. And then we have top 4 of a tournament with the brand new Centurion Atri. Let me read this card. This will be my first time reading this. This card would be used as a synchro material. You could treat it as a non-tuner. So tuner or non-tuner, level 4. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is summoned and you have an emblema card and a Centurion card in your graveyard. Emblema? What's an emblema? Emblema card? Let's type in emblema. What the heck? Emblema? Emblema. So this is emblema. Emblema Oath, emblema Atonement. If this card is summoned, you have an emblema and Centurion in your graveyard. You could draw 1 card. You also cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. During the main phase, if this is a continuous trap, special summon this card, which is pretty much what all of them have. And okay, we got the emblema Oath. So emblema Oath and the archery that works with the emblema. Cool. Is that great? This Mad Lad's playing Skill Drain in their deck. That is fully unlimited in the TCG. That is quite wild. How are you TCG players doing it? But we also have Kaiser Coliseum banned in TCG, but semi-limited in OCG. So they are using and abusing that. So that part of the deck's not going to be too relevant for you. But wanted to showcase this because I see a new card. And I think there's another new card here. What is this? We have Top Hat Hair, the Silhouette Magician. I think this is just a generic, right? This is 2 effect monsters, easy to summon. If this card battles a monster, neither monster can be destroyed by that battle. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you could set a continuous trap directly from your deck with an effect that special summons itself as a monster. Oh, okay. The Angus, Statue of the Angus. And how this works is if a card is special summoned from your back row while this is a monster, target a card in the field, destroy it, and that's exactly what the Centurions do. Oh my gosh, that's pretty intuitive that we just figured this out. I didn't know this looking at this deck list originally. I just wanted to feature this because of this new card. But now you got that for Centurion. Set the Angus, come summon it, then summon your back row Centurions, and then get popping. That's pretty interesting. What's the second effect? So set up the continuous trap with any 2 effect monsters to make this. And then if a card is special summoned from your back row, you can target a back row card your opponent controls and destroy it. So interesting. Set up the trap and then special summon a Centurion so you could pop any card on the field and then also pop a back row. Very cool. Then we got the Mulchummy in the side deck. So nice little future way to see how Centurion's going to be played. And of course, it's worth noting the Archfiend Calamity is banned, so they're not using and abusing that. And then what else we have here? We have Armed Dragon. Where is Heartbreaker at? This is now you have the Dragon Rulers limited to 1 in both TCG and OCG. Macedol being the only one where they are fully unlimited, all 4 of them. And what is the new card? So anything in the extra deck here I don't see, but we have this. This is the new card. Is this the new card that's going to make this deck good? You know, we're just featuring this. It's not considered a top deck here. Level 3, effect monster, not a tuner. If you special somebody level 5 or higher, let's zoom in even more, super zoom in. If you special somebody level 5 or higher dragon, you could special summon this card from the hand. If this card is special summoned, you can make its attribute and level become 1 of your banished dragon monsters. So it will become probably level 7. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you could target a dragon monster you control. It gains 1,000. That may not sound that good, but it could chain link block maybe an ashable effect. That could be something that you may want to be doing with that. So do think about that. Or even something that negates. Let's say they have a Baron to floor. Well, maybe that's hard to imagine because it's banned in the TCG. And then now your monster activating on chain link 1 will not be negated because this will protect it. And neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Oh, so it even acts like a blanket, just like Access Code Talker, or, that's interesting. Nice. So Access Code Talker like trigger effect to protect everything activating before the chain. And what else? So there you go. We got the blanket protection plus 1,000 boost, and then special summons from the hand and can become level 7. All right. Is only 1 copy, really? I would think maybe something like this would be played more than 1. Okay, that's enough? Probably not. It's a small tournament. Just a nice little feature of a new card doing well. Wait, there is a new card in the extra deck. What is this? I almost missed it. 2 level 7 monsters. Is this the real reason why the deck is back? And look at that, Baron banned. We have Tomahawk banned, even a Rise Heart banned. So what's going on here? 2 level 7s. That looks like Blaster, right? Is this a new way? Is this like Blaster Evolved? Blaster, what's it called? Blaze Supreme Ruler of Dragons. Dragon Ruler support is here. I have never read this card before. Let's see this. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. By the way, don't you like how the OCG card text is written? It's much clearer. We got bullet points, 1 and 2. So anyway, once per turn, you could soft once per turn on the first effect, detach a material from this card, destroy 1 card in your hand or field, and 1 card your opponent controls. Okay, interesting. Non-target, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. It's like a DPE. That's not quick effect. It's spell speed 1 DPE. 1 card in your hand or field, 1 card your opponent controls, and then ideally you're triggering something off of destroying your own card, or you're just going to be reborning your Dragon Rulers from the graveyard. That's fine. Or even whatever you destroy could be fuel for your Dragon Rulers. Now, the second effect's got to be good because I'm not convinced in the first one. 2800 attack. You could banish 2 dragons and or fire monsters from your hand or graveyard, special summon this card from the grave, but return it to the extra deck when it leaves the field. Okay, so with the first effect being a soft once per turn, the second effect being a hard once per turn, I guess you would find a way to get this in the graveyard, reborn it, and then maybe link it off into another monster, like a Hieratic Seal maybe if you're going first. And, but I guess this is kind of like a go second card. So you want to loop the first effect by use it for a link, reborn it, use it for a link again, then make it again, then pop another card in the field again. What do y'all think? That's quite interesting. Okay, And this being level 10 maybe works well with this also not being a level 7, but it could also become a level 10. If a level 10 gets banished, so 10, 10, 10 banished, then become level 10. So maybe there's something here. A lot more than I'm thinking. And I don't know the deck well enough to know, is this card searchable? Armed Dragon, probably one of the Armed Dragon effects is searching it. So maybe Heartbreaker can write up something about this new card is going to make Armed Dragon top tier. But in the TCG where they don't have Galaxy Tomahawk, I don't know. You tell me. I mean, this is probably a big part of the deck doing well. Now, is that it for the report? No, we have another deck. We have Fictinium. Where are you? We have Madolche, new Madolche. So I don't see OCG anywhere in the main deck. So what's the new Madolche cards? Oh, there it is. Here's a new Madolche card. Let's read this real quick. Target to effect monsters on the field, including a Madolche. Return those effect monsters to the hand/extra deck. Then you could special summon one Madolche from your hand or extra deck with an attack equal to or less than the returned monster's original attack. Okay. If a Madolche card in your graveyard is returned to the deck and or extra deck while this card's in the graveyard, you can attach this to one Xyz monster you control as material. All right, I'm not going to pretend like I know why this card is really good. I'm sure there's some combo where this is now good. You know, top the small tournament, but, you know, we're just highlighting this deck. We're not showcasing it as a top one, as I said, for many of the other decks here. And the action deck also has something new. 2 new cards. 3 level 5 Madolches. What? Well, you're going to Xyz this over its effect. So how this works is, let's zoom in even more. Super zoom in. Let's go down here. There we go. This states that you're going to Xyz summon the Queen Tiara phrase by using a Madolche Queen Tiramisu you control. So the Tiramisu will be here. This card is spin cards on the field back into the deck. And once per opponent's turn, quick effect, you detach one material from this card, then target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, also shuffle cards. So, ooh, this is not a quick effect, and this is a quick effect. So you have Tiramisu for going second, and now you put this on top of Tiramisu for going first. I joke a lot about Madolche being a long 10-minute turn for a single negate, which would just be Promenade. So now it's a 10-minute turn for 2 disruptions. Let's go. Is this a hard once per turn? So once per turn, you get to summon this. Once per turn, you spin 2 cards on the field back in the deck. It is going to be non-target spin. It's not hard once per turn. What? Okay, we only play 1 copy, though. If this card in your position is sent to the graveyard, return it to the action deck. Okay, shuffle them back. Oh, you know, it's a soft once per turn. Once per opponent's turn, detach a material. Shuffle them, then shuffle cards your opponent controls up to the number you returned. Very good. That, I mean, I know this is good. That's great. Turn 1 Tiramisu, overlay this, and then boom, you got disruption, non-target disruption. What about this? If this card is link summoned, it's going to be 2+ effect monsters, including at least 1 Madolche monster. So you could use non-Madolche to make this card. You could add a Madolche card from your deck to your hand. Okay, straight up, you know, link, not like link 1, link 2, link 3 to get that search. Also, you could target 1 monster in your graveyard. You could not activate non-Madolches for the rest of the turn. Not the turn you activate this card, but for the rest of the turn. So non-Madolche cards could be activated before. You then special summon a Madolche from your hand. If you do, shuffle the target into the deck. So summon an additional Madolche from the hand. So add a Madolche card, then summon that card from the hand, or it could be a non-monster you search from your deck. So search, summon from the hand, disruption. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So zooming out, the page is freaking out a little bit. So there you go, Madolche, some new Madolche support. That's very interesting. I'm excited for this. I'm a fan of Madolche. While I may not be understanding the Madolche dessert, I do understand the deck quite well. So I'm excited. Very nice. And then some comments. If you want to support this article, I greatly appreciate it. React, whatever you think about the article, and any feedback whatsoever. Max C at 97% is pure insanity. How a card with this much representation has been legal for more than 1 format is wild. Well, the chummy is maybe Copium going to get the Maxi ban. What do you think? And then let's go Tenpai for the new tier 0. Yup. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta today. It's got a lot of stuff. We got spicy tournament tops of the week. We got TCG news, OCG news. You could sort by whatever you want to be seeing. Card reveal, set releases, tournament reports. Latest YCS will always be here. And then we have the always updating every day top TCG decks and OCG decks. So May 4th was a +18 deck update. That's a big one. And then you could see that filter by a specific event if you want. Filter by the deck type you want to be seeing. And then you could clearly see if a deck list is not here by, wow, we have all the deck lists there. Let's look at the TCG one, +8 decks. The TCG is where we'll see a lot of no deck, no deck, no deck, where we could report on the player name and the deck they topped with, but no deck until they make a deck profile with it. So quite interesting. Back in my day, I remember Konami was posting the deck list in an article. So I don't know. I guess it's a way where it does support people making deck profiles, but I want the data. I want the deck list. So where are your decks? Come on. And then you got the tier list page for the TCG, the OCG. You could sort by, let's say, TCG, you want to look at just post Legacy of Destruction, where Snake Eye is still the best. What's going on, Tenpai? You were supposed to be #1. Well, you know, it's still a top deck, but not the best deck at the moment. Still, time will tell. We need a YCS event with Tenpai to really see, right? What do you think about that? Even though we have a decent amount of events here to see that. And then you got the tax, and we could do, we got last 1 week even, and then side deck, recent events, and then you could even go on over to Master of Meta. Top decks page, you could do the condensed view if you want. And all these deckless hover features is going to be when the site comes out of beta. It's not going to be a pro feature. It is going to be for all of you to use and enjoy. So let me know if you like that. And also, we've been putting effort into having the deck type pages have a combo video. So for example, if we go on over to the Tenpai deck, if you want to learn about Tenpai, we've been attached a combo spreadsheet. I saw this from Nesh TCG, so shout out to Nesh. So you could check out the combo guide from top tier TCG players there. And then we even have, if we go back, you could then see some OTK combos, 37,000 damage, anti-Nibiru, anti-Veiler, also anti-Impermanence, 2.5 card lethal, 1-turn combos, what you want to be doing with the deck if you're going first. And also, speaking of Nesh, and also shout out to Pack, we are featuring their deck. So any top player that is play testing with the deck will have it under the top player feature. What's really interesting about this is Nesh bravely, I can't believe Nesh said this, and good on him for being the brave enough to say this. Don't trust anyone who is going to say that Trident is needed, because I'm 100% sure now that card is not needed. And the card's very expensive. So Trident Dragon, I'm looking for it. Of course, it's not there. It says you don't need it, so you don't have to play it. And if you want to look at the prices of cards, let's see that real quick. Let's type in Trident Dragon, and we click on the card. $58 market price value. You can click on TCG. I think my ad block may be blocking the affiliate link, so don't warn me about this again. Proceed. It's, I guess, because TCG player has this within the affiliate links. That's why it auto blocks it. You know, it's not a virus. I don't, you know, what the heck's going on here? Okay, now there you go. This is how it tracks that you clicked from our website. So moderately played $109, but it said the market price is about, it's going up, $65. So we do have a limit. All websites have a limit on how often we could ping TCG player to get the market price value. So I do believe we have it set to every 12 hours. We could try to reduce it even more, but TCG player themselves are restricting every site on how often you could ping them for what the actual market value is. So, you know, we have it pretty close, $58, $50, $65. It's pretty much there. And I will be working on also having a price tier list page where, you know, I don't want to reveal too much about it, but there's some good things in the work for that. So look out for that. And yeah, TCG stats, OCG stats, best decks for everything. Open up the filter, search by a certain event, the date, a deck type, tier 3 events only, a card, multiple cards, and there you go. So let me know what you think or don't think about the website and this metagame review. This is a long video, but hopefully you'll enjoy that. So thank you very much. We are out.